Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things. Today's topic comes from one of our insightful viewers, Brainy Tom. Thanks for the suggestion, Tom. You asked, how do 3D glasses work? If you've ever slipped on a pair of those funky glasses and found yourself ducking from flying objects or reaching out to touch floating scenes, you might have wondered, how is this even possible? Well, today we are diving into the brilliant technology that tricks your brain into seeing depth where there's none. So, if you've ever been amazed or slightly confused by the magic of 3D movies, stick around as we break down the clever science behind those iconic glasses, right here on Explaining Everything. To understand how 3D glasses work, we need to talk about your eyes. They're basically two little cameras sitting side by side, capturing slightly different angles of the same scene. Ever close one eye and then the other, noticing how objects seem to jump around. That's called parallax, and it's your brain's way of calculating depth. Each eye sends its unique view to your brain, which then combines them to create a 3D perspective. It's teamwork at its finest. No arguments, just perfect harmony. But here's the issue. A movie screen or TV is flat as a pancake. All the action, drama, and explosions are squeezed into 2 dimensions. Your brain sees the picture and says, "Cool, but where's the depth?" This is where 3D glasses step in, like a superhero for your senses, ready to turn flat images into eye-popping spectacles. Modern 3D glasses use a nifty trick called polarization. Imagine light as waves bouncing all over the place, up, down, sideways, diagonal. Polarization organizes these waves, letting only certain directions pass through. Movie theaters project 2 overlapping images on the screen, each with light waves polarized differently. Your 3D glasses have lenses with matching polarizing filters, one for each eye. The right lens lets in one image, and the left lens grabs the other. Voila! Each eye gets its own custom feed, like a private screening for your eyeballs. Now comes the magic. Actually, the science. Your brain receives 2 separate images, just like in real life. It works overtime, stitching them together into one seamless 3D experience. But here's the funny part. Your brain doesn't even question it. It doesn't stop to think, hey, why are we watching a spaceship fly straight at us? It just does its job, crafting depth and distance so convincingly that you might flinch when that spaceship explodes. Before fancy polarized glasses, we had the classic red and blue anaglyph glasses. You've probably seen them. They look like something out of a 1950s sci-fi movie. Instead of polarization, these glasses use color filters to separate the images. One eye sees red-tinted parts of the scene, and the other sees blue. It's a simpler trick, but the result is the same. 2 images, one for each eye, creating depth. The downside? Everything has a bit of a psychedelic, not quite natural vibe. But hey, it's retro cool. The reason 3D glasses fool us so effectively comes down to one simple fact. Your brain is a creature of habit. It's used to receiving slightly different views from each eye and combining them. 3D glasses hijack this system, feeding your brain the right cues to create depth even though the screen itself is as flat as your grandmother's pancakes. It's like giving your brain a puzzle. It can't resist solving it. Now, you might wonder, why don't we walk around wearing 3D glasses all the time? Imagine navigating the supermarket in a pair of polarized shades, dodging floating bananas and reaching for phantom cereal boxes. Fun, but not exactly practical. Real-world depth perception works just fine on its own, thanks to parallax and other cues like shadows and size. 3D glasses are just for those special occasions when we want to supercharge our senses. Ever felt a bit woozy after a 3D movie? That's your brain saying, hey, this isn't how things are supposed to work. While 3D technology is impressive, it's still an artificial experience, and your brain knows it deep down. The mismatched cues can cause a bit of sensory overload, especially if you're prone to motion sickness. Think of it as your brain's way of reminding you to take a break from the alternate dimension. The future of 3D tech is even wilder. We're talking glasses-free 3D screens, holograms, and virtual reality so real you might forget which dimension you're in. These advances aim to make the 3D experience even more seamless and immersive, pushing the boundaries of what our brains can process. And let's be honest, our brains are totally up for the challenge. So, the next time you slip on a pair of 3D glasses, remember this. You're not just watching a movie. You're participating in a high-tech illusion where light waves, filters, and your brain team up to turn flat images into a thrilling three-dimensional adventure. It's science, it's art, and maybe just a little bit of magic after all. If you enjoyed learning about how 3D glasses trick your brain, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.